Hey everybody, I am in Zion National Park in southern Utah. I'm on the Riverwalk Trail, which ends at the Narrows. Thought I'd talk to you a little bit about photographing in here. A lot of people think you have to photograph right at first light or right at dusk. In areas like this, that doesn't really work. I'm kind of waiting for the light to get in here to backlight all the colorful trees, the cottonwoods and ash trees and maples. But you can also use the light source that is coming off of the rock faces. For instance, that's what I'm doing here. My face is being lit with a big rock that's right there. Check this out. See how washed out that is? If I darken it up a little bit, you can see that whole rock face is the light source for my face. And you can use that to backlight certain objects. So it isn't always just about the sunlight. You can use reflected light to actually light your scenes. And down in the river like this, it's the perfect way to do it. Now watch how the light changes on my face, because I'm looking at a big black rock right here, so the light's coming from above me. As I swing over here this way, see how that light changed? All I did was swing around to that great big huge rock face that's lit up, that's reflecting the sun back here. You can use that same thing for photographing these wonderful fall colors. That's what I'm doing. And some of the scenery. You don't necessarily want to include that bright rock wall because it'll wash out. But you can do a tight crop and actually get stuff that looks really good and still shows the perspective of where you are without having such a wide dynamic range. So let's move on. I'm going to explore some more. Here's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. I'm still using that rock face that's reflecting the light to backlight this wonderful little ash tree that's over there and the other fall colors that are there. Leaves like this really shine best when they're backlit, and I love this composition for a vertical composition. One of the problems with this shot is I want everything to be in focus, so I'm shooting at f/22. That makes me go to a low shutter speed, which there is a slight breeze moving the branches, the leaves, so I might get a little blurring there. But I'm honestly okay with that. I'm not one of those guys that has to have everything tack sharp, but it's going to be very minimal at best. Here's another example of what I'm talking about, where the rock face is backlighting the leaves and the reflection in the water gives this wonderful yellow glow. So I walked up to the end to where you have to then walk in the river from that point, and now I'm working my way back and the light has changed. So watch for changing light constantly. In this case, the light is just about over the top of this cliff behind me, and that is providing a soft light that's backlighting these leaves. When you're photographing along a river, look for S-curves in the water, that guiding lines, those leading lines that bring your eyes into the photograph. Watch for those kind of scenes. Now the light has gotten into the canyon, it's really too harsh. And that was part of the reason I got in here when I did, to get it reflecting off the rock walls. Because it's okay, but it's just a little too harsh now because it's, I think, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning. So using the light to your advantage is really important, and using reflected light like this off of canyon walls can really make things look good when you're photographing in a narrow canyon and these wonderful fall leaves. November, the first couple weeks of November, usually 1st of November through the 10th to 14th, is what I consider the best time to come to Zion National Park. The fall colors are gorgeous, and it's not near as crowded as it is during the summer, though there are still quite a few crowds. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this, and happy trails.